There we go. Okay, so as I mentioned, I want to go back to the beginning of Tzadik Gimel Amud Beis to clarify the sugya, just to make it more clear what was going on here. The bottom of Tzadik Gimel Amud Aleph tells us that if three partners join in a partnership and a business together, so the Mishnah says, Kachin Cholkin, they divide it based on the ratios. Amar Shmuel, Shnaim Shitilu Lekis, two people put money into a business venture, Zed, Manav, Zed, Masayim. One give 100, one give 200. Haschai Lahem, so they split the profits. Amar Abba, Mistavnos the Shmuel Vishtal, Shol Charisha, Vayim the Charisha. That makes sense if they both put money in the capital in order to buy a shore for Charisha. And guess what? That's what they're doing. In other words, they opened up a bed and breakfast, and they're using it as a bed and breakfast. But if they plan, their business venture was to be a bed and breakfast, and then a pandemic breaks out and they decide to change it into a hospital, so their profits are completely different. So Mela, everyone's going to get Lafi Ma'isa. Rav Amnuna Amar Afilu Shol Charish Vayim L'Tevicha Aschar Le'emtza. Even if they change their business strategy, their plan, they're still going to split the profits. Meisvei Shnaim Sheitilu L'Kizdem Manav V'Zem Masayim Aschar Le'emtza. My lab Shol Charish Vayim L'Tevicha V'Tiyufta Terabba. Exactly not like Rabbi. So Omar Aval Shul Charish V'Im Tzvicha Mai Zenet V'Maisa Zenet V'Maisa. But if they would split it, if they would change their idea, originally it was a Charish, now they're doing a Tzvicha. Originally it was better breakfast at the hospital. Then they wouldn't split the profits. Rather, everyone would get based on how much they invest. Correct the Gemara. Did I say the lekach zem shalom zekach v'shaloi v'nisarbo zenet v'maisa liflik linis v'didei. What happened here? The Brisa continues and it says, hold on. New case. You have a man, Ruvain, invested $200 and he bought a animal, a very healthy, good, stark animal, and that shore is going to do Charisha. You have another man, Shimon, who also invested in Charisha business, but he bought a weak, feeble animal. And that weaker animal is going to be his shore Charisha. So
where are we up to?
Yes?
Where are we starting from? Sorry about that.
I'm sorry. I went back to the beginning of Tzadik Gimel Amud Beis. I went back to the top of Tzadik Gimel Amud Beis to clarify yesterday's sugya, which I thought wasn't so clear.
You got it. Thank you.
No problem.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so two men, Reuben and Shimon, one buys a shore that's very strong and is going to be used for Charisha. One buys a weaker shore for Charisha. Okay. So they're both in the Charisha business. They're both planning on doing shor lecharisha. However, they have very different products that they're offering. What happened? However, the two shvarim got mixed up. Everything got mixed up. And they don't know whose is whose. So since they don't know whose is whose, what do? You take everyone takes the profits based upon their investment. So over there we see that they take it's based on the investment, right? That's based on the investment. Frak the Gemara, instead of saying a case of the ratio, should be a case of sholish the charisha, oivin the charisha, and you do for charisha, it's great. That's where you're going to split the profits. But if you mix up on a new business venture and everything gets mixed up, then you're going to do based on ratios. Make the distinction between the ratio and the seifa a much more simple distinction. There'll only be one nekuda that's different. In the Reisha, it's Shor Lecharisha v'ayim lecharisha. In the Seifa, it's Shor Lecharisha v'ayim letvicha. One small nekuda different. Why do you have to reinvent the whole case and say, this one bought a good shor, this one bought a weak shor, and then they got mixed up, and therefore, you're going to split it based on ratios. So that's a kasha. That's a kasha implying that even Shor Lecharisha v'ayim letvicha, you're going to split the profits evenly. Says the Gemara, you talk right. If they bought it for charisha and now it's only going to be betvicha, it's only going to be shechted and sold for its meat, it's no longer going to be used as a plowing shore. Nase, we're going to make it as if we're going to equate that to a case of this guy buying a better animal, this guy buying a weaker animal, they're both in the charisha business, it all gets mixed up. Then for sure, everyone agrees you're going to take the ratios. So too, Shor Lecharisha, but even the tvicha, you're going to take ratios and you're not going to go and split the profits evenly. So we've answered up the kashas on Rabbi Nuna. So we have two ways to learn, Rava and Rabbi Nuna, whether Shmuel, when he said that you split the profits evenly, was that in a Shor Lecharisha v'ayim lecharisha, or even Shor Lecharisha v'ayim letvicha. Correct the Gemara, how could Shmuel say his halacha altogether? Split the profits evenly. Doesn't that fly in the face of our Mishnah? You split it based on how much the investment was, based on the ratio. Maila, pirsu, mamish, and it went down in value. And since it goes down in value, they lost money on the investment. You can split it evenly. You're going to split it based on the ratios, 0, mamish. Or if it went up in value, they made profit. You're going to split it based on ratio, how much their investment was, not splitting the profits evenly. It's mamish akasha with Shmuel. Answer the Gemara. Yisiru, what does Yisiru mean? It doesn't mean that it was worth 1,000, now it's worth 1,200. Yisiru means Zuzi Chadasi. That when they started their business, let's say they were bankers. They started in the banker business. And they had a lot of money in their bank. But they were all 2010 dollar bills and coins. Now it's 2020. Guess what's going to happen to 2010 dollar bills and coins? They're eventually going to go out of use. They're no longer going to be used. But over the Kufa, over the past 10 years, they've been doing a lot of business. And now they've taken those 2010 coins, and guess what? If they go look in the bank now, there's probably only a little bit of them left. They've gotten new coins along the way. They've got new dollar bills along the way. Most of the dollars that they have in their bank, even though those 2010 might be in circulation, most of the things that they have in their bank are 2018, 2019. So they're chadasi, they're new money. That's what it means.
There's a difference in value?
Exactly. Says Rashi, there's no difference in value.
Yeah.
There's no difference in value. All they did was they qualitatively made the money better. In other words, it's the same dollar. But the dollar, they were concerned that the dollars that they had in their bank would have gone out of circulation. Now that they did enough business, the dollars are no longer worried they're going to go out of circulation. So memele, since we're no longer worried, that's a qualitatively better dollar bill. That's what it means, Yisiru. But since it's the exact same money that existed from the beginning as it is today, we're not talking about profit, we're talking about the actual capital. They're going to split it based on ratios. And Pichsu similarly is a stira ditzaynisa, meaning coins that are going out of use. They're no longer going to be used, that Rashi says they're used to tie around your feet in order to help heal your ankles, some type of medicine, whatever it is. In other words, the coins are no longer used. In other words, they were doing business And when they went back to the vault, they noticed, a lot of our coins are the coins that are going out of use. They're about to stop being in circulation. So the value, current day, it's all there. In other words, it's there. If they had $1,000, they still have $1,000. Except that the $1,000 that they now have are coins that either just went out of circulation or about to go out of circulation. Therefore, it went, quote unquote, down in value. It didn't actually lose any value. That's why you're going to split based on ratios. It's all be'en, it's all there, but it went down in value. It went down qualitatively in value. That's the Gemara. But in Echinami, everyone agrees with Shmuel that if there was profit, not the capital, but profit, then in Echinami you'd split it evenly. Says the Mishnah. Misha hayu nasui dale noshim. This man had 4 wives. Right? Sounds like Yaakov Avinu. He had 4 wives. Umeis, and then he dies. Harishoina, the first wife, wife 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. However, although wife 1 is collecting first, Rishoina Nishba is the Shnia, Vishnia, the Shlishis, the Shlishis, the Revis. Vavis Nifras Shvua. Even though wife number 1 collects first, but guess what? She's got to take a Shvua. She has to take a Shvua that she didn't collect any of her ksuba money previously. She has to promise that this is her ksuba money and it's not a double payment. She takes a shvuah first, then the shniyas takes a shvuah to the third has to take a shvuah to the fourth, and the fourth girl, she's scot-free. She doesn't have to take a shvuah at all. In other words, you already paid 1, you already paid 2, you already paid 3. The fourth one is free to take her money even without a shavua. It's because she was the last wife. In other words, let's say the guy got married to wife number 1 when he was 20. He got married to wife number 2 when he was 30. He got married to wife number 3 when he was 40. He got married to wife number 4 when he was 50. He dies at the ripe old age of 85. He's been married to one wife for 65 years. She's the Rishayim. She's going to take a shavua. This last wife, she's only been married to for 35 years. It's also a long time, by the way. But only 35 years or 65. So she doesn't have to take a shvuah. Just because she was last on the list, she doesn't have to take a shvuah. So says Benanas, she also has to take a shvuah. Whoever got married first is Zeiche. They all got married on the same day. Doesn't matter. One got married in the morning, one in the afternoon, one in the evening. Whoever's the first is first. That's why it says in Gemara, even if it's only 1 hour, this is the Mishnah. That's why in Yerushalayim they would write Sha'ois. In their Kesubos, they would say not only the day they got married, what hour they got married as well. If this guy got married to all 4 ladies, or even if it's only 2, within 1 hour, the same time, 10 a.m., between 10 and 11 a.m., he got married to 2 ladies. Tremendously wonderful act, right? This guy is all into it. Right, he's got married to 2 ladies within an hour. Then, if there's not enough money to pay the Kesubos, you're going to split it evenly. What's the machlokes Tanakam and Benanas? If the 4th one has to take a shvuah or not? Who cares? Amar Shmuel. So Gemara is going to present a few different terutzim to explain what the machlokes is between Benanas and the Tanakam. Amar Shmuel can go into him to Achas man Soda Shein Shaloi. What happened here? You have 4 wives. He paid 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. However, he's dead, by the way. So the Yisayim are paying, right? The Yisayim are paying. However, what happens? After the Yisayim paid all 4 wives, they all have their property, they're all ready to go home, their Kesubos are paid. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, comes this man with 2 eidim, and he says, your husband was a thief. Your husband stole my land. The land that he gave to wife number 2 is really mine. All of a sudden, wife number 2 gets very nervous. He has 2 eidim, she's going to lose her land. So she turns to wife number 4, says, hey, wife number 4, I should get paid first, not you. Give me your piece of property. However, wife number 4 already got it. So this is the concept of Baal Choiv Me'uchar. Wife number 4 is a Baal Choiv Me'uchar. She came later on in the process than Baal Choiv number 2. So Baal Choiv Me'uchar should call them the Gava. Is it considered, do we allow number 4 to keep it or not? Does she keep it or not? Says the Tanakam, oh, she keeps it. We can't take it away from her. If she didn't get it yet in a chinami, we will give it to number 2. But since number 4 already got it, she gets to keep it. Can't take it away from her. And Benana says, no. Because she doesn't get to keep it. She doesn't get to keep it. Guess what's going to happen now? It's going to go, the land is going to go from wife number 4 to wife number 2. It's going to go from 4 to 2. So now, since it's going to go from 4 to 2, 4 also has to take a Shavuot to say, I'm not taking extra land. I'm taking land that I deserve to get as part of my Ksuba. Therefore, 4 would also have to take a Shavuot. Gemara, let's just read it inside. Tanakav is over Mashagova Loi Gova. Banana Silver Mashagova Gova. I said it backwards. I'm sorry. I said it backwards. Tanakama says Mashagova Loi Gova, meaning that it's you do take it away from 4 and give it to 2. You would take it away from 4 and give it to 2. Therefore, there's no reason for 4 to take a Shavuot, because guess what? You're just going to take it away from her anyways if 2 loses her property. And Benana says, Mashagova, and therefore 4 has to be telling the MS in order to keep the land, because otherwise we're nervous that 2 is not going to get what rightfully belongs to her. Really, everyone agrees, and you're going to give the land from 4 to 2. We're going to take it away from 4 and give it to 2. So why should 4 have to take a shvuah? She's going to lose it anyways. What are we worried? That the wife number 4 is not going to keep up the field. Is not going to care about the field. Because anyway, she might lose it. So she's not going to invest her time, money, and effort to make sure that the field is on par with what it should be. And therefore, she doesn't have to take a shvuah. We're not worried that she's going to cast aside the field. She's going to keep it up. And therefore, since she's going to keep up the field in the best way possible, she would not have to take a shvuah.
Rabbi.
Yes.
When we're saying that, we're thinking about this is the 4th wife or the 2nd wife?
Who's going to be machsef? The 4th wife is going to be machsef.
Okay, fine.
Right?
Thank you.
Right, Rashi speaks to that. V'shavua de benanas is chayshin and shem etachsef haravi. It's a zois, as a sode. Right? The chichazi de loy mashbi in law yod the hajj shlishis ilavei iluah and take it away from her. In other words, she knows from the fact that they're not causing her to take a shavua. Wife number 4 says, "I know there's a good chance I'm going to lose this field. Therefore, they don't worry about me keeping it right now because it's only temporary. So if it's only temporary, I don't want to get involved in this field. I don't want to have to keep it up, but I'm not worried about it. what's going to happen? The field's going to be in shambles. And then when wife number 2 or 3 has to go collect it from her, it's going to be a field that was not kept up. It's going to be bad news for the Jews. Therefore, Benana says we have to show her, we have to at least give her the impression that she could, that she's keeping it, and therefore she'll keep it up. She'll make sure to keep the field up. Abaye Omar, the Abaye Kashisha, they're arguing about Abaye Kashisha, the halacha of Abaye Kashisha. Then Abaye Kashisha, we know the halacha is, if you want to collect your loan from your son, you got to take a shvuah. Now, when we say you have to take a shvuah, you're going to collect and you say you have to take shvuah, is that only if the collector, is that only if the Yisayimim, are kitanim? Or is that even true if the Yisayimim are now gedolim? Is that true only if the Yisayimim are kitanim, or even if the Yisayimim are gedolim? That is a machlekes. What's going on here? So says the Gemara. Abaye Kashisha says, even if the Yisayimim are gedolim, you still have to take a shavua, because even gedolim don't know what their father's business deals were. And therefore, even if the Yisayimim are now gedolim, they might not know if their father paid off the loan or not. Tanakama leisle de Abaye Kashisha, Benana leisle de Abaye Kashisha. Tanakama doesn't learn like Abaye Kashisha. In other words, the Tanakama says only when you come to collect from Yisayimim ketanim you have to take a shvuah, but Yisayimim gedolim you don't have to take a shvuah. And our Mishnah is referring to a case of Yisayimim gedolim, like Rashi said in the Mishnah. And therefore, there's no shvuah that has to, the fourth one doesn't have to take a shvuah. Why does one have to take a shvuah? Because we're worried about that she's taking away from 2. Why does 2 have to take a shvuah? Because she's taking away from 3. Why does 3 have to take a shvuah? Because she's preventing 4. But the fourth one is not stopping anyone. So the only reason they would have to take a shavua would be because she's collecting from Yisayimim. But the Yisayimim are gedolim. The Tanakama says you don't have to take a shavua. And comes along Benan and says, no, I agree with the Abaye Kashisha. And therefore, even though the Yisayimim are gedolim, we still have to take a shavua. Benan says the Abaye Kashisha. Amar Avuna. Hanitre achi v'trei shutvi. This ludin about the behadichad. You have 2 brothers, 2 shutfim that have a judge, they have a court case, a tviyah with one other person. So you have this plaintiff and defendant, 1-on-1. Really, there are 2 plaintiffs against 1 defendant, but only one of the 2 goes to court on behalf of both of them. He goes to court on behalf of both of them. And what happens in the court case? The 2 plaintiffs lose out to this one defendant. So the guy who didn't go to court, he says, hold on, if I had gone to court, guess what? We would have won. The reason we lost is because you went to court and not me. It's your fault. So the one who didn't go to court can't go to the defendant and say, we're not in the same business here, and you can't talk to me. In other words, the fact is, my partner, the fact is the partner did shlichus, he was a messenger on behalf of the guy that didn't go to court. So therefore, the guy who didn't go to court, it would be as if he was actually in court, and he can't say, get me out of here because we're not on the same page. He asked this question in Surah, what's the halacha? Mas nisin, it's a preferred Mishnah. Harishoni nishmas l'shniya, v'shniya l'shis, l'shis l'revius. V'ilo rishoni l'shlis l'ksani. Why doesn't the Rishon have to take a shvuah to the second and to the third? Why does it say that Rishon takes a shvuah only to the second? My time, because number 2 is doing shlichus on behalf of 3 and 4 as well. So we see from there that the halacha will be that if one partner goes to court, he's going to court on behalf of both. In fact, the Gemara, it's not a good sushta, it's not a good comparison. Liechad ushavua lemeya. When you take a shavua to one person, it's the same as taking a shavua to 100 people. You don't take multiple shavuos. The one shavua can work forever. Hacha Omar ilu ona havataina ta'ina na tfei. If I would have been there, I would have tained more. If I would have been there, I would have had better claims than you. So in other words, maybe you can be mechalek, and specifically in the case of a shavua, it's the same thing. But in case of court cases, then you would say that the one guy who goes to court is not fulfilling the shlichus of his partner. That's only true if the partners are not living in the same town. But if they're living in the same town, the fact is they should go to court. If two partners living in the same town, they should both go to court. If one of them goes, he's going on shlichus on behalf of both of them, and the one who didn't go has no claims, he lost his rights. In other words, you lost out from the fact that you didn't show up. That is the Gemara. So what time is it now? Okay. Itmar. We have a few more minutes. Beis shtaris hayetzim b'yoyim echad. Two shtaris that were presented in court and they both were written on the same day. Reuben and Shimon both come and they say, "Hey man, you owe me money. Here's my shtar." The shtaros were written on the same day, and the man doesn't have enough money to pay for both of them. So Rav Omar Chelkin, you split it down even. They each get half their shtar. They don't get everything. Shmuel Omar, a beautiful new concept called Shuda de Dayone. Shuda de Dayone. What does that mean? Throw it on the judges. Throw it on the judges. In other words, Rashi learned the Pshat and Shuda de Dayone is as follows. The judges have a responsibility to determine who they think. They don't have evidence, but they have circumstantial evidence. They have suspicion who they think is the more appropriate of the two, Reuben or Shimon, to get the money. Who has stronger claim to the money? That's Shuda de Dayone. It's based on...
It sounds like it's an equal claim.
Oh. So Rashi says here, that you should be miyapek koiche shel zeh mishel zeh. Whoever has a stronger claim. Now, the Gemara is going to say, Leimara, what we're going to see in a second, why, according to Rav, you don't say Shuda de Dayone. Because according to Rav, there is no Shuda de Dayone here. Their starters were written on the same day. And therefore, Leima Rav, the Amkir Meir, Rav holds like a Meir, the Amar Edi Chasima Karti, that the signatures validate the shtar, and therefore, if they're written on the same day, then the two stars are considered as taking place on the same day. And neither Reuven nor Shimon has a stronger claim to the money than the other one. V'Shmuel, the Amar Ke Rabbi Lazar, the Amar Edi Mesira Karti. Shmuel holds like Rabbi Lazar that says Ede Mesira Karti. The fact that the stars say they were both written on Rosh Chodesh Iyar doesn't mean that they took effect on Rosh Chodesh Iyar. Maybe Reuven received his shtar before Shimon received his shtar. They're both written on Rosh Chodesh Iyar, but the validation of the shtar occurs when it's delivered to Reuven and Shimon. And therefore, maybe even though they were written on the same day, they were delivered on different days, and there is a capability to do Shuda de Dayone where the Dayanim can try to figure out who has a stronger claim. So we'll say that Shmuel holds like Ede Mesira Karti, and therefore it's shaykh to say Shuda de Dayone. Says the Gemara, everyone agrees that Ede Mesira Karti, and it should be shaykh to say Shuda de Dayone. Rather, it must be that really the machlekes is what is better, Shmuel is a general sheet that's better to be mechalek, and Rav is a better sheet that's better to be mechalek. And Shmuel is a sheet that is better. It's more appropriate to do shuda d'dayin than to be mechalek. We'll continue from here in Mirza Hashem on Sunday.
Shkoyach.
Have a great Shabbos.